Well,
Dude, over 20 miles of driving.
3 state lines.
Over $700.
Our wives are going to kill us.
Yeah, they are. Movie tickets.
Yep.
Hotels.
Yep.
Food while we're out there.
Yep.
Gas.
Ooh. Was it worth it?
They won't fear it until they understand it. And they won't understand it until they've used it.
Films are subjective, what you like, what you don't like. But the thing for me that is absolutely unifying is the idea that every time I go to the cinema, I want to feel that the people who made the film think it's the best movie in the world, that they poured everything into it and they really love it. Hear me out. What if we drove to see Oppenheimer in 70mm in Tempe, Arizona?
Okay. Danny, the things you make me do. Are there no other options?
There's Tempe and Hollywood and a few others, but those are the ones we could drive to in like 9-ish hours.
We have to do Hollywood.
Then
it's settled. We're going to go see
Oppenheimer
in 70mm in Hollywood.
I was sitting in the back of a 47 Packard with an IMAX mag on my lap trying to get this driving shot, and I just felt like I went back to some origins of great cinema school, because, you know, these lenses are coming at you and they're this close and it wakes you up.
I'm trying to find tickets for Oppenheimer. Could we get, maybe not great seats, but could we get decent seats for what it is? Are we gonna be able to, do we do this?
Let's go do this. Chinese theater. All right. Well, this date isn't going to work for us. Not tomorrow. Let's go in like a week from now. Are you kidding me? California, how do you guys live on a matinee for $25? Oh boy. Really? That's how much you guys are paying out there? Tickets have been bought. We're doing this. I'm excited. Let's see what all the hype is. We're doing this for you, Christopher Nolan.
You ready, bro?
I'm ready, man.
Let's go drive 8 hours.
No, we're driving 9.5 hours.
Why did you agree to this? There's just a lot more than just watching a movie in this.
Yeah, no, this is a full-on experience.
Like, to watch a film in, like, the way Nolan wanted to see it, there's only so many theaters in freaking America, and we're crazy enough to go do it.
Well, let's do it. Almost 2 in the morning.
And so in 10 hours? Less out? Like 8 hours? 8 hours.
We're watching the movie.
I'm freaking tired. We're gonna go to bed.
We're going to bed.
This is a pretty cool, I don't know, art. I feel inspired with this art. Alright. We're gonna go to bed. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see ya.
This is a dad on a mission. Solving problems.
Godzilla has his own star? Good for him.
You think we're gonna get lunch? I mean, breakfast?
Yeah, we'll get maybe breakfast.
Dude, how does it feel to be at the freaking Chinese theater?
Dude, this is cool. Like, right? Premieres, you always see it on TV.
Yeah.
What's his face got blown up in Iron Man 3 here? So, yeah, it's cool to be here. Happy, yeah.
It is cool to be here.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't ever think of, like, hey, you know what? I want a bucket list item to be
The Chinese
theater.
Yeah, no.
But you should have, I mean, we'll review
Yeah.
after the movie. But it is pretty amazing to think that we're going to go see this movie at the
At the
freaking Chinese theater.
Yeah. That we drove 600 miles. Plus.
He's not going to let me live that
I'm
down.
not gonna. Nor you, viewers. We drove 600 miles. That's cool. Sure. So cool.
Not going to lie.
That's the actual camera.
This is sick. No, that's not. This is an old one, dude. Oh, yeah, I forget. Dude, these things freaking are gnarly, bro. Oppenheimer in 70mm in the Chinese theater.
Chinese theater
Okay,
in Hollywood.
Let's get the dirty out of the way.
Dude, that popcorn was horrible.
Look, Chinese theater. Look, all I'm saying. Look, you guys did us dirty, okay? We paid for your ticket, which was like $30.
Yeah.
And then you have popcorn that was made last night and put into bags, and you sell it in the morning.
No, it was bad. Look,
No,
the popcorn was no good. I get it. You're expecting a big crowd, but yeah.
Like, come in early and like do it right. Because come on. Right. I mean, you ate so much of that, and I'm like, I was
starving. Like, we didn't eat this morning.
We didn't. And we worked out. Okay, so besides that,
I think this is Christopher Nolan at his finest.
Seriously, at his finest.
I think, look, he's great at action pieces, action movies. I think when we scale down to like horror or like quieter dramas, the last one I remember that he did was what? Prestige, maybe?
Yeah.
This is well paced. I think Christopher Nolan's ability to manage the camera, and also he wrote this one himself.
Yeah.
Without his brother Jonathan.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that Jonathan's a bad writer, but I think this is probably one of Christopher's better written stories.
Okay. I want to go back to your comment about pacing. This movie was 3.5 hours long. Not that I didn't feel like it was long, but I also didn't feel like any moment dragged. This movie has at least 300 cuts.
Oh yeah.
This movie was. I'm trying to decide if this will be nominated for best editing or not, because like a movie, it probably won't be. But truly, I think there's something about this film that I find really appealing in the editing aspect. I don't think this film holds. There's probably one clip that it's held for more than 10 seconds.
I think you're right about that. I think also along with that, the pacing. I mean, this is like 2 movies in one.
Yes.
That last act.
Yes.
Is its own narrative.
Yeah.
And not only are we seeing like a biopic, but there's also like a political mystery thriller to this movie, which I was not expecting.
I wasn't. I agree.
And I loved it.
Well, and not only that, but like, I kept thinking through when we were watching the film, why did you shoot this in black and white and then color? Like, what was this? What was it? Right? And then seeing that third act play out,
yeah,
I was like, okay.
Look, in true Christopher Nolan fashion, this is another movie that doesn't follow a linear timeline, right?
No.
It skips from past, present, and future. It goes back and forth.
Yeah.
But I think this is one of his better edited and paced movies with that linear or non-linear timeline. I love how massive this cast is.
Dude, I didn't realize.
I knew it was a big cast, but every 15 minutes we're introduced to. I'm like, you're in this?
Yes.
You're in this?
Yes.
You're in this?
Yes.
Like, I love that. I love it. Robert Downey Jr.'s performance.
Oh, dude, the performance
so good.
These people truly came in with their game face.
Oh yeah.
Their game, like these guys were like pitching for. They were playing for the Super Bowl. They're playing for the World Cup. These guys came in, and not only that, but like Cillian Murphy's performance, hands down. And honestly, I think his performance was amplified because of everyone around him.
Definitely.
Definitely. They obviously he put in tremendous effort. I read that he only ate an almond a day.
Oh wow.
Oh
yeah, I heard that.
I also love that the guy who plays his friend who's also Jewish. What was his name? Who tells him to eat? He's like, if you get any skinnier, you're gonna fall between the cracks of the cushion. that scene, man. It was special to watch it in the Chinese theater. I don't know why. It just felt a little like.
It felt like a little bit of like history. I don't know. Like
I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, do I feel like the 70 millimeter is worth it?
Do you? You haven't seen it in regular IMAX?
No, I've not seen it in regular IMAX. I definitely felt that it was filmed. There was a couple instances where there was the film flicker, and I do think there might be. I have to watch it in a standard IMAX. But is it worth it? I don't think so. But I will say. But wait.
Okay. All right.
But I think that the movie itself is worth it.
Yes.
And because the movie itself is worth it, you should see it and if you have the ability or the desire, you should see it in 70 mil. If any other film came out and they said we're doing this in 70 millimeter, I don't necessarily think I would come out. But this film was shot in did 12 weeks of prep, 12 weeks of shooting, and then whatever the post-production was, right?
Efficient production.
Super efficient. They literally built a town. A photograph can tell 1,000 words, but a film can tell a life.
Yeah.
That's what it did. This movie did.
It did. Look, it's a beautiful movie. I love that Christopher Nolan continues to leverage film, and I love digital. I love both mediums, right? There's a rawness to the film, especially with the themes and the performances of the actors. Going back to your point, is it worth the 70 millimeters? I mean, I haven't seen it in regular, but as of right now, probably not.
Yeah.
Like, probably not, but it's the fact that, like you said, that Christopher Nolan is making an effort to maintain this form or this medium of filmmaking, and I think that's something to be discussed, to be talked about, and to recognize. Emily Blunt, by the way, incredible.
Oh my gosh, bro. She's gonna win Best Actress.
She's gonna get
hands
Best
down.
Actress. Yeah.
And if she doesn't, I will be pissed.
You said this earlier about like everyone bringing their A game. I think there are movies out there that you can just tell the director was like, this is my Oscar-winning movie. Like, I'm doing it, whether it's the topic, whether it's whatever it is. Like, they're gunning for an Oscar. This feels like it should be an Oscar. It will be an Oscar-worthy movie for Best Film, but it doesn't feel like Nolan's like
Gunning
trying
dude,
for it, right?
That's a wonderful, wonderful take. I'm glad you said that because I don't think I would have put it that way. In a lot of ways, I feel like he's kind of breaking some of the things that he's like become known at in some ways. Like, I mean, you think about Tenet, you think about The Prestige, you think about the Dark Knight trilogies, like Memento. He's always had this sense of this one. I felt like there was something. It was like something personal.
Yeah.
Like, these people did not come because they wanted to get an Oscar.
No.
They came because they read they read the screenplay. Nolan. They're sitting down in front of Nolan, and they're like, wow.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking of The Irishman, the Martin Scorsese one from a couple of years ago. Clearly, that was Martin's attempt and effort to like, I need this Oscar. I'm bringing back the big guns.
Right.
And it just felt like, he's aiming for that Oscar. This is not. This feels like these are individuals at the top of their game, read a script, fell in love with it, fell in love with the idea that Christopher Nolan pitched, and executed on that. And it feels, like you said, personal. It feels raw, sincere, and just like a masterclass in filmmaking.
I think you could watch this 100 times.
Pick up on little nuances.
Pick up on little nuances. You're sitting there and you're analyzing why this, why that, why. There's the story aspect of it. There's the dialogue aspect of it.
Yeah. Look, we talk about this all the time in the podcast about giving us as viewers moments to feel, right? Yeah. And this movie does that. Yeah, it's 3.5 hours. We've talked about it, but not at any point. Like the moments that allow us to feel aren't too long. No. They're not overbearing. It's just perfect, especially with Cillian's performance, his ability, depending in on them, and just getting those emotions. It's great. I felt the drama. I felt the emotion. I think a lot of people were talking about like it's a heavy movie. I don't know what. For me, it didn't feel heavy. I think I will say that last like minute and a half definitely left me with a feeling of fear, somberness.
That's a good way of putting it.
Of just like, how do I want to say this? Like, it was a movie a drama that hit all the emotional beats, but left me at the very end concerned, scared.
Oh yes,
in fear. Fear, but it also like put me in a position of like to want to have conversations of what are we doing as humanity?
God,
what are we doing?
There was no release.
Yeah.
No release.
Yeah.
This movie you should see. You should go run out and see it. Like, it's not a heavy movie. To me, it's a tenseful movie. Right underneath the surface, on the surface, in the visual storytelling from cinematography, in the written dialogue, in the and I mean, I don't, I know that he adapted it from the book, but a good movie,
not just a good movie, any good piece of art,
causes you to want to discover and to know
and discuss. And again, this goes back to the cinematic experience.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I cannot urge you viewers, if you haven't seen it, to watch it. And if you have seen it, to watch it again. I'm going to make that effort to go watch it again.
Yeah.
And watch it after once I own it. But yeah.
Was this experience worth it? The 70mm aspect of it, we both feel, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the experience for what the filmmaker wanted us to feel or experience, was that worth it?
Yes. And I'll say it with this. at the end, the movie ended, we as an audience clapped. And it's a different clap of when people clapped at the end of like Avengers Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that was like, I think people clapped there because it was they were just excited, happy. Yeah, we won, whatever. This was a clap of like appreciation to the filmmakers.
It was like we wanted to clap because like we just witnessed
Art. Yeah, that's
Yes.
what it is. It was like my clap was like, you did it. You did it. Like you guys did such a phenomenal performance. You did it. Like, and thank you for sharing that with me. That's what my clap was.
Yeah.
I felt like that's what everyone's clap was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was good. It was good. Look, I love it. I want to see it again. I want to think on it more. But these are my initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts. There is something to be said about the art of this medium that should be preserved. Whether and that when people go to do it in the way that it was traditionally created, because I'm a huge fan of digital. I love what it's allowed me to do. It's allowed more people to do. Maybe you are someone who has a screenplay or a story that you want to be a filmmaker. Like you can do that. Like, you know, unlike some of these greats that we like, Spielberg and they were some of the first people that were able to get some of the first like personal tools, and that's why, like, to me, I love what I do and helping other people learn, because like, not that I'm not a good storyteller or whatever, but I think there are tons of people out there that have something to be told and they might be the storyteller to tell it. This movie could have been written by Nolan, but if you sent it to somebody else, it wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't. The execution.
Somebody would have said 3.5 hours. There's no way we're doing that.
Right. The execution wouldn't have been as well executed.
They would have like, let's do it in 2 parts.
Yeah, let's do 2 parts. Two-parters.
We have a couple, perhaps like, not like criticisms, but like.
No, I have a criticism.
Oh yes,
I have a criticism.
Wait, let's talk about some of the things that maybe, you know, like, okay, look, we praised it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the stuff that like maybe that should be talked about.
Two main things. One, Christopher Nolan, starting in like Interstellar, he overuses sound to the point where the dialogue gets muddled.
Oh, this is
something that he.
I would say not only Christopher Nolan, but like many, like there's something happening.
Yeah,
with dialogue.
Yeah, but I feel like it's been more noticeably with Christopher Nolan. I feel like ever since Dark Knight Rises, right? Like the score or the sound, it's coming on too strong.
Or the mix.
And the mix, and it's just not. There are times in dialogues where you can't hear it, and I think it's better. I think from the last like 3 movies, I think this has been probably his better. He's coming out of that, but he still needs to work on that. Like I think there are too many times, several times in this movie where it was like, whoa, let's tone it, let's bring it down, because this is important. Like I want to hear this, and let's bring it down, right?
Yeah.
That and I think Christopher Nolan has, because you know, I has always, in my opinion, I've always had a criticism of he doesn't write well for women.
Yeah. Granted,
this is a biopic, but I again, Emily Blunt was incredible, and her dialogue between her and in the briefing, incredible. But the sound mix, that's continues to be my biggest criticism of Nolan's.
Okay. I appreciate that he decided to go with film. I mean, there's only 19 theaters or 15. 19 theaters in the country, but if that's the way you want people to see it, like that makes it really hard. And it's not his fault. I think part of it is like he still has, you know, there's still a bit of a notion of like purist in the filmmaking and shit. I see that like it can be as a frustration point. Like, hey, I want to see this, but I'm like, I can't go.
Yeah, but I don't think that's him, right? That's studios not wanting to. How much does it cost to ship out one of these 70mm?
600 pounds, bro.
Yeah. Like I think it's more of like a studio issue.
Yeah. The editing intrigues me. If you're someone who like notices that sort of thing, you might not actually like this film. I mean, literally, it's cutting. I think at one point I started counting. Literally, there was like a good like 20-minute span where it did not stay
for more than 10 seconds.
For more than 5 seconds.
Yeah. But it never felt like. I never felt disoriented.
No.
Right?
No.
Like it was never like.
But what I'm saying,
wait.
No,
right?
but what I'm saying is like if you're someone who might like find that like jarring. People actually might appreciate it now.
Yeah.
Before it might have been like, wow.
Look, great job, Nolan. We did this for you.
We did this for you.
Look, if you've seen it, let us know. If you saw it on 70mm or haven't, or you've seen both, did you enjoy it in 70mm? Did you felt like the regular IMAX or regular theater was just fine? Let us know. We want to hear from you.